doing that.
So one of the things that we wanted to discuss that you had brought up first was kind of going to the conference.
Yeah.
And doing that for the first time, which was last year. We went in 2023 and we went in 2024. And what did you think of that?
Yeah. So the first conference, although I wasn't excited to kind of go there for the whole week. I wasn't. But when I got there, it was actually pretty good, and I enjoyed it. It was nice to unplug, and everybody was actually real nice. But because I was so newer to the whole concept of waking up, the awakening and all that, I kind of felt a little bit like a fish out of water. Although everyone was really sweet and made it as nice as possible, and so fast forward to the second Journey to Truth, it was a totally different experience, and just getting to really meet a little more intimately some of the people that we listen to. It was really a great experience, and from meeting and we had Jackie Kenner and her husband and her little one, and yeah, he was adorable. And also Katie Taft, we had to sit and have some lunch and spend some personal time with her. That was amazing. Yeah. And then one of the things that really were good is when I met with Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie, the Art of Healing. She had a table right behind mine because Aaron was in my book group, and he was sweet enough to let me get a space there at the conference and put my books out. And so we got it right up front, right? We were right next to Hopewell Farms.
Yeah, right now. And they were actually great too.
So sweet.
They were
love
great
them.
Too. But that with Anne-Marie was I had a session with Anne-Marie and I didn't know really what to expect. And speaking with her a little bit, she started asking me some questions. Yeah. And I decided to have a session with her, and it was pretty eye-opening, and it was actually really healing. So it was I don't know if you want me to go into it.
No, well, I mean, you don't have to do the personal stuff, but yeah, I think that was really good and out of character for you, really. I mean,
Very out of character.
Yeah, you don't really do those kind of things. So that was just to have you, open to doing something like that, and then getting so much out of it, because you came out of that and you were really like, I can't believe, like, that was really cool.
Yeah, and it was like to a comparison, but it's like in sales, when someone gives you an objection, you got to like kind of take the temperature of it and make sure it's the real objection. That's at the root of really why they're objecting to whatever you're selling. And it was the same thing. I had something in mind, which was really an obstacle for me after my father had passed away, which was really, I thought was the real issue and why I was having such a problem with kind of moving forward. And when I sat down with her and I went through her process, that wasn't really it. It was much deeper than that. And once I got to work on that, as we went through that regression, it actually, I literally woke up into just a new way of thinking about it. And a lot of the emotion was taken out of it, and I was able to move forward more in a healthy way. So I was really appreciative of that.
That's the thing about the conference and the people that go to the conference. I feel like it, we were talking about that a little bit today. We recorded with Craig Walker. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time that he had attended the Journey to Truth conference. This is the first time he was in America.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a very interesting story. So definitely got to check out that episode. It's this upcoming Saturday.
Yeah, we're gonna air it this next Saturday. But he's wonderful.
Really good guy.
He's so sweet. Emma was like, after we got done, she was like, I really like him. He's super sweet. She really liked him. But anyway, he was there, and I forgot where I was going with that.
Just the people at the conference.
Oh, nice. Yeah. We were talking about it with him, and we were saying, it's funny because you don't know these people, right? You're going there, you don't know anybody, but it was like a family reunion almost, or like you feel like this is definitely your tribe when you get there. And we were saying that is a real, it says a lot about Tyler and Aaron. That's right. The kind of people that they draw to them, that the kind of energy that they have. Everybody just comes, and it doesn't matter if, you're in your 20s or you're in your 70s or 80s. Everybody's just family, and they're all sitting around talking and hanging out.
That was interesting. The age range is amazing on who they pull in and the quality of people they pull. And it really is a testament to those two guys.
Yeah.
And the I guess Tyler's father and Aaron's wife or wife to be.
She's, I don't know.
All right, well, marry her, and then she's your wife, and then
There you go.
But anyway, they all
Amanda.
work, and they make sure that everything is running, and no matter how early you get up and get out there, you see Tyler out there, and you see Aaron out there, and they're just both real gracious, good guys, and that's why they have the following they do. And it was really a good conference.
Yeah, it was, and I was saying to Emma and Craig that as long as they have it, I mean, barring something happening, that we can't, I plan on attending from now on, anytime that they go. And you're going to go with us next time, right?
Yes, I definitely plan on going, because watching like how you guys come back after each one, that you just seem so refreshed and happy, and seeing the pictures and everything. And then they'll kind of give me the play-by-play, like, oh, we talked about this or this today. And it looked like it was a lot of fun. So I'm definitely
and it's a beautiful setting. Yeah. The speakers, you always get so much out of. And also you come back feeling kind of upgraded, right?
Yep.
Like tired. There's almost like an energetic shift of some sort. And it makes you tired. But then also, I don't know, it's almost like being around all of those people and having everybody that's kind of on this higher frequency kind of vibe that they have. It almost feels like everybody raises everybody up.
Yeah. But what's nice is that most people are negative. And so when you go there.
Oh, you mean in the world?
Yeah, in the world. So like when you go there, some people may get tired right away because everyone is so nice, persistently nice, that it just wins you over. Even if you want to be negative and go back into like the 3D, you can't, because everybody is really sweet and really nice. And no matter where you're at in your journey, no matter where you're coming from, it just doesn't matter. Everybody is always looking to, help you out and where you're going, and give you suggestions and recommendations. So it was just a great experience. It really was. And me and Lisa were talking about it, and just from the first to the second conference, the difference was exponentially better for me, because as I got to see people for the second time, like Lily and Katie and the people who we talked to, we were talking to prior, and just like to get reacquainted again, and then get more acquainted with some. It just was so I'm really looking forward to next year, because I can't imagine kind of how much better it'll be going there after the second one just went off, and what happens then. So
that's their third.
Yeah,
because we missed the first one, and I saw that. I really thought about going the first time too, but I didn't, and I got such good feedback and stuff, because I was chat friends with some of the people that went there that live in that area and stuff, and so they had nothing but great things to say about it. So by the time the second one was coming up, I was like, okay, I'm definitely gonna make an effort to get to that one. But that first one was pretty cool too. I mean, even their lineup and stuff. But it's nice because they did have a couple of people that kind of came back again. We got to have Laura Eisenhower this year.
And that Wills.
Oh yeah, Jerry Wells. Yeah, he was really cool. They all are. Brad
Jackie.
Olson. Jackie Kenner.
Olson,
She was cool. Brad Olson is like super sweet, and very tall. Remember, we were talking about when they took the picture with Lily, with Jerry Wells, and
6'9" and 6'8".
No, or I don't know, 6'7". I don't know, something like that. They're
Lily
really tall.
4'11".
Yeah, she's like a little tiny thing, and so they had a picture where they actually like lift up Lily, and we're talking about Lily Nova, and so it was just cute. It was fun, and it's light, and it's really.
And to just sum it up, and that before Anne-Marie came to the room to do I was pacing back and forth, going, what the hell am I doing? What is that? Am I really? Should I just leave the room and put a note on the door? Like, this is crazy that I'm doing this. That's how I felt. And then she came in, and then it was just like speaking to someone who I knew for like 30 years.
Well, she's like the sweetest person anyway. She's got a channel too, Anne-Marie, The Art of Healing, on YouTube. And she is just like light, really. She's the sweetest person. So it was really nice to kind of hang out with everybody. And I look forward to bringing you next year and having you go to, and wait till you see Grafton where they do this. It's like so cool. It's like, you know, the trees and the rivers right across the street, and you know, you walk back where they kind of, because they have like a camping area and you can walk back, and everybody's, you know, talking about Sasquatch and things like that, and stuff in the room. And I was having these really kind of like prophetic dreams when we were there. And then when Lowell Johnson was up on the stage, Zach was saying that he was seeing some, Zach is one of the people that were there. He was saying that he was seeing some like orbs. And that night when we went back to the room, I was seeing orbs, and I was seeing orbs in the trees when we went out, because they do like a bonfire kind of thing where you go out at night and everybody kind of hangs out and stuff. And I was like seeing orbs in the trees. And then when I went back to the room and stuff and I was going to sleep, I was like, you know, when you're at that stage before, it's like you're not quite awake, but you're not totally asleep either. And I was seeing orbs there too. But it was like everybody was having that kind of stuff, or a lot of people were having those kind of experiences where it's like, you know, all kinds of stuff. So that's kind of a magical place, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was just, even all the trees in there, you know how mommy is with trees. And
Hugging
She
trees.
can't like go on a walk without hugging every tree on the way.
But you had to see the trees, like they're old and big. Some of them are huge. And so you really, when you walk up to it, you feel it.
Wait till you meet Katie Mabry in real life. She's
so much fun.
She is so much fun. But she's like with the trees too. She's like totally about the trees too. So yeah, it's not just me. So anyway, but that was really fun. The Journey to Truth conference, and that was a big part. I think that just kind of kept propelling this movement for us forward, and doing these because you're in your regular life, and you have a couple people, you have some people that kind of are open and stuff, but for the majority, people are
going about their life.
Yeah, they're not really, but you get there and there's not anybody there that's not.
Yeah. You know what I saw looking at it like is like, even though like, we listen to more and more people, there's more people out there that you pick up on, but that crew of people that are there, that's like our home team and our foundation almost. And those are our guys, that's it. And our, girls and guys that we deal with and that we can interact with, although we do have other people that we listen to are very important to the awakening.
And Soul.
Soretta's like, she's like family.
Yeah.
But it would be great if she was there. But that's like kind of our base, we have our base, and then that's how I feel like they are. That's our family there.
Yeah. Those are our peeps.
Our peeps.
Yeah.
La familia.
So yeah, that was kind of cool. And then, I wanted to do a shout out to Victor too.
Yes. Thank you so much for helping us out with,
Victor White.
Yeah. He helped us out revamp everything with
our logo.
And
if you look at the first few, thumbnails that we did, we had it kind of a certain way, and he's so sweet. He just contacted me out of like nowhere. And he was like, hey, I put this together for you, see what you think, let me know, whatever. So that was like really cool. So the way that the thumbnails are now, that's all Victor. He just took that, the Vegas skyline that I have, I just created that on like AI stuff, but the words and the logo and everything, he put that together for us. So thank you, Victor. That was like super sweet of you. You didn't need to do that, but that was lovely of you to do that for us. And yeah, so you want to talk about our recaps of like some of the guests that we've had so far, the shows?
Oh my gosh. It's been great. Honestly, we're on what we just recorded episode 8 now, but just a big shout out to everybody who has met with us so far. I love every single one of you, and we appreciate you willing to come onto the show and share your stories as well. I don't know. I don't have words for it. It's just been fantastic just getting to know everybody too, because I'm obviously new to the community and I'm new in my journey. So everybody's been so sweet and so welcoming. So I appreciate that.
She takes things slow, but she's coming.
She's coming along. Yeah, when we first went on and we did a debut and said that we were going to do this, the reach out from people who were just like in the like YouTube and Rumble community that were reaching out, let me know if you need anything, if you, I'll come on, if you want us to come on or whatever it was. And everybody was so sweet and supportive, like right away. And Chastity was our first
one.
guest, Chastity Munoz.
She was That was brave.
Yeah.
brave.
She's got a YouTube channel, Unveiling Addiction, and she openly speaks about something that most people keep to themselves.
And everybody deals with it. And someone in their family has that going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we appreciate you being so open and
That's
vulnerable
not easy.
with us. Yeah.
And what a wonderful open person. She was really easy to talk to for our first time ever doing that. We were like awkward and nervous, and we were having all kinds of technical stuff and everything. We still are kind of, but you know, but we're trying, we're really trying. But you know, she was just easygoing and sweet, and she was a lovely first guest, really.
Well, but after she messaged me and she said, if you don't get them to straighten that out,
Yeah, I'm never coming back.
Yeah, they may get me back on the wrong way.
Real funny dad.
Yeah, she was great. And then who was next? Second was Erica. Oh wow, Erica Amarina.
Yeah.
She wrote a book.
She was. When I just saw her interview, that one, the reason why that sticks out is she's very passionately, emotionally.
I know. Well, she's really going through it.
How she was saying stuff was that definitely, if that didn't hit a chord with you emotionally, whether you believe it, don't believe it, say what you want to say, whatever. But when you see any human being going through something like that, and you could see the pain coming up and how hard it was for her to get the words out.
Yeah.
That's rough, to see anyone going through that.
Her book, Girl Lost.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Girls. Yes.
Girl Lost. Yeah, I think so. It's available on Amazon and Kindle. That's our second episode, but she's very brave, and she's literally still going through stuff. Like, it's not that, she did this and this was a time in her life and now that's kind of over. She's talking about SSP stuff. She's talking about, secret programs and things like that. And she's still having people that are, what's the word? Like,
just
negatively interacting.
Yeah. They're giving her, she's having a lot of negative interactions with some of the same people.
Yeah.
And it's just when you feel like your life is being, everyone's being, it's not an uninvited intrusiveness that's coming. You don't know if it's coming into your home. You don't know if your family could be affected, if you can be affected, when you can be affected, if you're driving, so there's a lot of, probably safety concerns with her family, with her.
She had some amazing stories too. Even just the ones that weren't negative, right?
I just wanted to go through the screen and hug her.
I know. She's got that kind of a vibe where you just want to go and
Yeah, and we're actually supposed to be meeting with her for a future episode here soon. So I'm excited to see what's going on with her and updates on her.
And she's actually this next time going to be talking more about kind of what she does, because she has a website and stuff, and she works with people that are going through these kind of things and similar, and she helps people. So, she's gonna come on and we're gonna learn more about that, which I'm excited to do, because I can't even imagine Yeah, she was. And then our third guest was Sherry Dipvan.
Yeah, Sherry's great.
Oh my God, we loved Sherry Dipvan. Okay, my favorite story out of all the stories that we had so far was Sherry Dipvan. When she was talking about the gorilla, I was just like, Sherry, that was my favorite thing ever.
Yes, I can't wait to hear more about
the animals and the stuff.
Yeah, communicating with animals too. That sounds really cool.
I know.
I'll learn how to do that.
Well, it's cool. It's finding out really like what dogs and cats and stuff, and really all animals, but since they're domesticated with us, and you wonder why dogs are so unconditionally loving, even with people who don't maybe treat them the right way, they're still wagging their tail when you come home, and they're still, they love unconditionally, and but the reason behind it, and Sherry's really, she has an expansive knowledge base with that and with children.
Right.
And which
star seeds.
The two probably very important things in our community and in our lives.
Yeah, we learned so much even about children that are diagnosed with autism and on the spectrum and everything, since, obviously we have a niece and granddaughter that has that too. So it's very insightful, and it's helped my family a lot. So I'm glad it's gonna help other people.
Yeah, that was kind of cool to have her too. And she's the sweetest person in real life too. We've met her at the conference a couple of times, and she was really cool. And then 4 was
Sylvia?
No,
Katie Mabry.
Katie, we love Katie.
Yeah.
Katie's actually a friend, and she's pretty cool. And after that, after that show, we decided that we're going to do a segment with her called Sacred Sites with Katie Mabry.
Yeah, so we should actually be doing that one soon.
Well, she's traveling right now. Yeah,
when she's back traveling, then we're gonna.
She travels all over the place.
I
I
know.
know.
She
I'm
just
seeing all her
goes.
pictures,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Ugh, I want to go.
Yeah, she's adventurous, that one, which is why she's going to be doing the Sacred Sites thing, because she's like, she's like
Yeah.
going all over the place. So that was cool too. And then Sylvie was it Sylvie next?
No, we met
Alexandra?
with
It's Alexis.
Alexis.
Stop
He's-
helping, please.
He's great with names.
Yeah.
He's the best with names.
She's really impressive for a young woman.
Yes.
Yes.
She's very
So
knowledgeable.
smart. I could hear her talk for hours. I
Yeah.
learned so
Just the
much.
way she works things out and she says things and how she puts things together that you wouldn't normally think kind of would, go together, and she figures it out.
Is this the one with Jace?
Yes.
Okay. Jace. Yeah, shout
That's
out
her
to Jace with
husband.
the crypto. He's awesome.
That's her husband.
Really good with crypto.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. They're awesome. And she's got a channel too. Ascension Diaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's pretty cool. And then it was Sylvie.
Sylvie.
And Sylvie, thank you. And Sylvie was really cool. Emma, you really enjoyed that one.
Oh my gosh, I could talk.
Our
for
sound
hours
was
with
so
poetry.
bad though.
Yeah.
I hope people will listen to it. Like, just turn us up, like turn Emma up when she's talking, because our sound was
I
terrible.
don't try to talk loud, but I bought us brand new headphones, and I could hear you okay, but listening back to it, my microphone was in the same spot, and you could barely hear me. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was so mad. It's fine. Well, we fixed it.
But this is right up her alley because you
Yeah.
got published as a poet, right? With your
In
poem when
fifth
you were
grade,
younger.
yes,
Yeah.
I had a poem published.
I'm
so-
still very proud of that, so I bring it up. Still, so. But she's that's she kept mentioning it, and so that was an interesting kind of way to go, because no one else
It was
goes.
a
I never
unique
saw that before. Yeah,
approach to it, and that's
Yeah.
what I liked about it too. It was so different, but just
Yeah, because she's talking
the way
about
she did it.
disclosure and SSP too, but she's doing it through poetry. And she's also trying to draw lines between like folklore and stuff that was, happened a long time ago and people just thought it was pretend or whatever. And she's kind of like, no, that looks really familiar. And it looks like what we're talking about in the disclosure community right now. And it was just kind of painted in a different way back then. And, it's probably the same thing. So it was really cool the way that she kind of drew that line
Yes.
and did that. And then, and what else? Then we had,
Sylvie. No, I can't. Who
Sylvie.
was after that?
who was after that?
Who was before Craig?
Oh no, we just did our
Boom.
Oh yeah, we did it with.
we just posted last night. Yeah, that was our deep dives in Nevada, and that was Allison was pulling cards. She was with us the whole time, and how fun that was.
Oh my god,
That was interesting.
so much fun.
That was
I had
interesting.
fun.
Yeah,
And we did have technical issues, but
because we got
got through
these,
it.
but we didn't realize that it was turned up all the way. So every time me and Emma talked, it was like, ah. So yeah,
That's what I hear in the house normally. That's how.
Yeah.
But I mean that in a good way. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
hearing
right.
it.
that's so fun.
But anyway, so that's kind of the recap, and then Craig will post next week. So that was
That's gonna be a really, really good interview.
William Wallace.
yeah.
That reminds me.
He's like a big Viking.
Yeah.
He's so cool. I love him to death. He's the sweetest person. And he's so funny on social media. If you follow him on social media,
Yeah, he
he's
is.
like
Yeah.
comes up with all these like really funny things that he has to
His
say.
names.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm sorry, I have a child over here that's distracting me.
Do you
But-
want to hang out with the family?
No, I'm trying to get Commander to come. Wait,
All right. Well,
Come
you don't have to force it.
It's okay.
Okay.
You don't
Don't
want to?
force it.
Okay. Sorry. She's trying to get our dog. Anyway, but then the other thing that we were going to talk about too was kind of like you guys, how you've processed this stuff and your own kind of awakening stuff. You had some kind of cool things because you had a couple of appointments. Why don't you talk about Anita a little bit and some of the things that came out
Oh, yeah.
and what
So-
you,
All right. Yeah. So Anita, we got introduced with Anita from Lily.
yeah.
She was on, but we really never. She didn't even. I don't think she had her own channel. Wasn't
Mm-mm.
doing readings. Nothing. And so one thing I told told Lisa, just even from when I was in my 20s, I always had a reoccurring dream, and the dream was that it was like the darkest side of evil and the lightest side of good, and it was that duality, and always trying to be seduced and being chased by this little girl with blonde hair, pale, speaking like an older man, which I don't like, and she's chasing me, and she keeps catching up, and she keeps trying. I keep getting like seduced to go to like evil, but at the last minute, I go to I choose love and good, and it destroys the evil. And it's been going on since, like I said, in my 20s. I mean, reoccurring throughout the years. And so when I met Lisa, I was telling her, I was like, yeah, no, I think I was an archangel or something, because they keep trying to get me to go to the other side. And I always say Archangel Michael. I always say Michael's my that's my guy. That's my brother. That's my boy.
Yeah.
And so we laugh about it, right? And so fast forward these years that now that we're going through this awakening, and then we met Anita.
Well, you had a couple of readings where people brought in Archangel Michael, like Soul Rita did it.
So Rita.
I think Megan. It was
Megan,
a few people.
and the one from Australia, not so Rita.
Yeah,
Michelle. But with this one, she said, I'm just going to read it because it's pretty.
Well,
this is pretty.
okay.
Should I read it or no?
Yeah, I mean, not the whole thing, because
No.
it's pages and pages.
No, I'm talking just the angel thing.
Yeah.
So basically, what happened was, I guess when I came here, I got my etheric wings got cut off, and I guess my sword, she calls it a light sword, got taken when I came into this human existence. So, and my wings got cut. And so that was trauma. She said, you actually experienced the trauma with that. So someone actually physically did that to me. And so when she was doing my reading, she said that I was part of a big line of male warrior angels, and they appeared with their arms folded at the ready. And my divine self was standing in front of them, in front of the line of angels, divine yet not an angel. And so, meaning I didn't have my wings yet. And she said that they sang my wings back.
Yeah.
They gathered around, and they I guess did this song, and they were all around me. And then they my wings reconstituted, and she goes to explain them, the colors, gold with blue and hints of flecks of gold in there, and then they sang back your wings to your divine self, accepted them. God's white light reattached your etheric wings, and they're beautiful. And then she said that they were all around me. And then she said, I didn't notice, but in the back, Archangel Michael was standing.
Yeah.
And he kind of walked to the front. Yeah. And he kissed me on both cheeks, drew me in for a hug, and said, now you're home.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And when she went through that and told me that, it was
wow.
It really got, it kind of choked me up, because I have a connection with it. And yeah, it was an amazing.
And it's
thing.
interesting is when you start opening yourself up to kind of getting messages, receiving things, allowing people in to kind of look and see, they can, give you some context for some of the things that you were interested in. It can be, things like he always felt drawn to Archangel Michael, or Lily's talked about before, like if you're drawn to cats or things like that, and then you find out there's some kind of history for you with the Lyrian stuff, or whatever that is. Emma was always interested in Egyptian things, and then we come to find out that she's had a lot of lives in Egypt or whatever. And I think that's how it works. It's if you start tapping in and paying attention to the things that it seemed like you were always drawn to, the things that always interested you, you're probably going to find that was for a reason. That wasn't just some weird thing that you just decided to start being interested in. There's a connection, and those connections go a lot further than you realize.
Yeah, and the big thing too, it doesn't matter really what gets you going on the path, because this is the path you're going to have to go on eventually, sooner or later.
Yeah.
For me, what really got me moving forward in it too was, when my father passed away, because I was trying to connect.
Yeah.
And so Lisa was helping me with meditating, and so we were doing all these different meditations, and I was trying to connect as best I could. And she connected. She had a couple of good connections with them, but at least it made me feel closer, and it made me feel like I was trying to do something to kind of connect with them. So it definitely that was healing too. But what it did was it got me into certain habits that were moving me along, the path I needed to go. So we'll get to the same destination. So don't worry about the road it takes you to get there. Just
everybody's so different.
Take the road and be open.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like you had any of that stuff or?
I mean, I've had little things happen to me here and there. I mean, even when I was little, I always felt like I was very empathic. I picked up on people's emotions a lot, especially when I was younger, but I didn't know how to deal with it. So I would internalize it a lot, and I would take on other people's emotions, even if I was like driving in the car to work. And then I would tell my mom, like, I just feel so overwhelmed right now. Like, I can't even, I feel like I want to jump out of my own skin. Or if I was, working at the bank, and I would just deal with a lot of people, and I would just pick up on their emotions all the time. But, I'd also have like little situations where, like I had mentioned in a previous episode, where I like had seen my grandfather, things like that. One thing that really stood out to me was I was in middle school when we lived at Dawning Heat, and I was sitting on my bed, and I was just reading a book, and out of nowhere, my vision kind of blurred out. And I remember just seeing like this picture. I couldn't quite make it out, but it looked like someone was like scribbling like a picture. And I just got this overwhelming feeling of like, I just felt overwhelmed. I just was like, okay, something feels off. I can't explain it. I don't know what I'm trying to see. And it lasted for a good like minute or two. And then my vision kind of came back, and I was like, well, that was weird. I didn't feel like I was like where I was. I felt like I went somewhere else. And I remember I told you about it a little bit, but like little things like that happened to me. I mean, now I'm still, like I said, I'm fairly new into my journey. I'm still working on actively like meditating and working on that. And of course, I'm still trying to like watch a lot of shows, and I'm always trying to learn, right? Because I don't know everything clearly. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have much to share in this because I'm still kind of working through it. But
yeah, it's a process, and it took me, I mean, I had the benefit of being home all the time and being able to meditate and stuff because Gigi would go to school, and then I was focusing on that. So when I started having my like meditative experiences with visions and, interacting with other consciousnesses and stuff like that, it was really, I think, just because I got the opportunity to just keep working on this all the time. That's that's what I was doing. And, I had a really interesting one. I actually wrote about it in my book where I was talking to my mom on the phone. I was downstairs. I was talking to her on the phone. I had just dropped Gigi off at school, and it was probably 10 in the morning or something. And all of a sudden I was exhausted. And I was talking to her, and I said, Mom, I gotta go. I've got to go lay down. I am so tired. And when I was walking up the stairs, my legs felt like lead. Like I could barely get myself up the stairs. And I laid down on my bed, and the window was cracked, which is unusual because we live in the desert. And so you don't really leave it open because it's hot and it's also dusty. But there's a little park across the street. And so I could hear people with their kids over there kind of like playing and everything. And I heard something. I heard like somebody entering the room or something. And I thought it was him, but I thought that's weird because he doesn't come home, that early. And it wasn't lunchtime, but even he doesn't come home at lunch because it's a good half-hour drive. And when I realized that, that was kind of strange, I went to open my eyes, and my eyes wouldn't open. I couldn't open my eyes. And then when I tried to move or turn, I couldn't turn either. And then I started feeling panic because I could hear, but I couldn't see and I couldn't move. And I was realizing that somebody, you can just feel stuff too, but somebody was like literally in front of me. I was laying on my side on my bed, and the pillow that my head was on started pulling forward. My head was still on it, but it started kind of sliding forward, and then it started curving. So it was like covering the front of my face. And I started panicking because I couldn't move. And I was trying to yell no, and I couldn't even get out a whisper. And I was trying to, move myself, and I couldn't. And all of a sudden at one time, I kind of jerked my head back, and I got out like a whispering kind of yell of no. And all of a sudden, once I could move, it was like done. The pillow fell to the floor. I jumped up. I immediately was like pissed. I was so mad that just happened to me that I remember I was like, I kind of disoriented, but I ran into my bathroom. I'm looking around for someone. I'm running into my closet. I'm going down the hall to my daughter's bathroom and her bedroom, and I'm yelling out loud. I don't know to who. And I'm thinking in my head, because I'm like, you want to mess with me? You want to do the I'm right here. Come do this. And I'm like 5'3", by the way. So it was like, I don't know what I was gonna do. And I kind of thought for a minute, I was like, what if this is like, a 9 or 10 foot tall, like draconian, like, what am I going to, and then the next thought was, I don't care. Like, I was so mad that I just was like, I don't care. And then I ran down the stairs. And once I started to realize like nobody was here, I don't know what that was, I kind of started to calm down. But I also realized in that moment that I was braver than I knew that I was. And I was also just like, yeah, I'm not dealing with that anymore. I'm not putting up with that. And I remember when I would hear stories and stuff, like if I went on Journey to Truth or something, when you hear things that happen to people, like what happened to Erica and Marina, instead of being like, oh my God, that's scary, I was like, they can't do that to us. We need to fight these people. We can't have these, this stuff happening to us. And it didn't, and nothing like that to that extent ever happened again. I mean, I did see, I was standing right in front of an actual reptilian at one point, but I'm saying all that to say is once you realize, who you are and that you can kind of defend yourself, and I don't know. I mean, it wasn't, I don't know. I can't say, for a fact, it wasn't a reptilian, because I went back and I looked at another time. I kind of left it alone for a while. I was like kind of freaked out.
Mm-hmm. That would
If you
freak me
remember.
out.
Yeah, I was kind of
also
freaked.
early on when you were going through it, right?
I think it was in the first year.
Yeah,
It was in the first year of my meditations, but it was like toward the end of the year. Like I was entering into my second year. And I had some assistance with kind of talking myself through that. Actually, Jackie Kenner and Solrita were both very instrumental in me kind of processing through that and everything. But at first I was so afraid. I was like, I don't know if some of the people I follow, somehow I got like a spotlight on myself, because some of these people have some dark stories and things happen to them. I like shut it all down. I wasn't like following anybody for a while. I was just like staying in my own little cocoon, meditating myself, and that was it. But that was a lot. Like that was scary.
Yeah, well, I think one of the biggest things I got when you got interviewed by Solretta, when she said, what was the biggest and most important thing that you feel that you learned or came out of it, I think it was really powerful what you said when you said the certainty. I have a certainty now. I have no fear or doubt that that the power we have within us, that you have within you, and that it's just there's no, you don't have to give an inch. You just don't have to. And no one could come and take that inch from you if you don't want them to, unless you relinquish it. But knowing that you have that power, there would be no reason to do that. And that, that's very powerful once you realize that, you have 100% sovereignty over what's going to happen to you in those situations. Yeah. And I think that's really important for people to know, because sometimes people get feared out like that and it'll derail the whole thing, and they'll recoil and not do anything anymore.
Well, I think that's the thing, right? People talk about loosh, and they talk about, how they need that kind of energy, that frequency. That's how they power things. It's kind of like we're a battery. That's what they say, right? So if you kind of aren't doing that and you're just like, no, we're not doing that. And it's like when you meditate and you start to feel something trying to come in. I've been sitting in here in the chair, and I would be trying to meditate and kind of bring light, and I would have something come in, and it was like right here. And I was like, no. And then they kind of, go out, and then they'd try to come back again. I was like, no. And, and they kind of go out, and I would do the asceti clearing kind of, prayer stuff, and that stuff clears it right out.
They stay in the distance and like make faces at you.
No, well, that one that happened, it was like, it almost looked like a frame that had come up, and it came up, and it was like what you would think like a demonic kind of thing would be. And it was like contorting itself in like a really weird way. And it was like yelling and like cursing and everything at me. And when I sent it away the first time, when it came back, it was almost muted. It was muted. It was still doing that weird contortion thing where it was trying to be like scary and like nasty and stuff. And it was so angry that it was muted. It was like spitting when it was like yelling. It was like really angry. And I was just like, no. And it kind of left again. And then when it came back, and I could see, because there was these little, like, they almost looked like little dark gremlin-y things, and they were kind of around. And I just did the asceti clearing thing, and they were gone. It was done. It was gone. But you'll run across that stuff, because when you start doing that, or astral traveling or something like that, not everything is high energy, and not everything is love and light. So you're going to get both. You're going to have experiences where you have those more negative things that are going to try to come. And it's really just about learning at that moment that you're just like, I just need to raise my vibration and I just need to kind of lift myself up out of this octave. And when you do that, it's like they can't reach you anymore. It's kind of like they're here and you're here and there's no cross stuff anymore, but when you first see that, you kind of like, and then when you do that, you like,
you can drop down to that level.
Mhm.
And they
Yeah.
can have more accessibility to you.
Yeah. And so, and I don't have that a whole bunch anymore. I don't really have those kind of things, but I think that that's because that's the tool, right? Is learning, how to keep yourself higher. And when you feel yourself kind of doing that, you're just kind of like, nope, I know what that can bring. I'm not doing that. So you just kind of have to do that. And it's a practice that we try to do like all the time. And we'll remind each other, right? When we're,
Oh yeah.
when we're talking about it, if like one of us sounds like we're kind of getting negative or doing something, one of us will be like,
did you clear?
Yeah. You don't want to really talk like that. It's not really right.
Yeah.
Positive and
Get to neutral.
yeah, get to neutral, get to 0 point. But yeah, it's been interesting with the awakening, but it's changed everything for us.
Yeah. No, it's been what's incredible is when you do it the right way and you kind of stick to like kind of the process of like even staying in that mind frame, that mindset of staying neutral and getting positive words, thoughts, and actions and stuff, and how quickly manifesting can happen and how quickly things could come.
Yeah.
Where sometimes me and mommy looked at each other and we were just like, holy cow, that was quick. You believe that? How did that happen from over, right? We were like, how would it come from on that? We were looking like here and it came from over here and it just came when we needed it. And it happened like time and time again, where you can say it's lucky or coincidence only so many times until you go like, but we literally set the intention to do this and it happened. And you would think you could just do it all the time. You can when you get to that point, but you can't let, you have to really stay in the process, but it's pretty incredible when it happens.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, going forward when we're doing the different shows and stuff too, that's why I want to bring in people that have these stories and everything. Because when we first started talking about doing this, Emma and I, we were talking about the fact that, there are a lot of people that are sitting in the chats of these channels that we watch and stuff, and they all have like pretty amazing stories. They all have things that have happened to them as well, but they don't have the opportunity to tell people and to kind of share their stories too. So that was kind of the idea behind this was, and if you are watching and you feel like you have a story or something, you can always kind of reach out to us, in Facebook Messenger or something and kind of let us know, what it is. And it's worth a conversation to see if, there's something there that you want to share. Because I think that's how we do this is I think that we all share.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's story is worth telling.
So to kind of break off what we were talking about to go somewhere different is when we got I don't know if you want me to answer the one question. Someone asked the question on a Brooklyn story.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You want me to keep it PG?
Of course.
Yes.
Nothing offensive?
No.
All right.
Okay. He's got some crazy stories about his time in Brooklyn. So if you want to hear it.
Yeah, this will be
Sense of Yuma.
Yeah, this will be easy. It'll be easy ones. Want me to tell two? All right, I'll tell the first one. And if you want me to tell them, I'll tell. All right. So me and my brother.
You grew up in Brooklyn.
We grew up in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, and there was a club called Players, and right by Nellie Bly's. If anyone's from Brooklyn, and on Thursday nights, it was definitely by far the best night there. And so we go there. My brother had this brown station wagon that I think was gifted to him from my aunt. And
I remember this story.
So so we go in and we have a good time, and we come out of the club at, I don't know, probably 2:33 in the morning, and we walk over to the car. We get in the car, puts it in reverse, and he reverses out of the spot. When he goes to put it in drive, it's not moving. And he tried to put it in low and it wasn't moving. And we're like, oh, okay. Well, so then he put it back in reverse and the car drove. So we figured instead we're not going to leave it there and take car service. That would be kind of a pain in the ass. So we started driving in reverse. And so as we go out of the parking lot in reverse, I think there was some other guys that were, from the neighborhood or a couple of blocks where we live. So they asked us for a lift home. So we're like, yeah, jump in. So we're actually picking people up going, in reverse, like everything was normal. So they jump in and my brother continues to drive in reverse. And so, and they thought he was joking around. They're like, they're going like, oh, are you going to get, drive normal? Because they like, you're out, the joke, it's over with now, it's getting played out. And so he's like, yeah, no, the car don't drive. The car don't go and drive. We can't go forward. We'll be going forward. Why would we be driving in reverse? And so they for some reason got petrified.
For some reason. I don't know
I'm
why.
not sure why, yeah.
It was a little odd, but my brother was driving the speed limit, which going in reverse is fast, but he was going the speed limit at least. But so anyway, when he stopped at the stop sign, they literally dove out of the car. Like you would think it was on fire. And so we're like, all right, yeah, take it easy. And so we went on our way and we were driving. And as we're driving, my brother's like, he's driving like this, right? And I'm sitting in the front seat like this. And as we're going, we're kind of passing people. And so when we're passing them, the people in the passenger seat, I was waving to because we're faced them. I didn't know what to do. They're looking at us like we're crazy, and meanwhile they're looking at us, right? And so I was waving, and they would wave. But what was weird is even though we were passing them, when they saw the headlights, they would swerve like that because I don't know if it just like in their head they thought they were getting in a head-on accident.
How many blocks did you do this for?
Oh no, it was like a 20-minute drive.
Oh my God!
It was all the way by the water by Nellie Blythe.
That's a long drive.
Yeah, no, and I can't to be honest. I don't know how he did it driving in reverse. That's not easy. I mean, he was making turns normally. Anything that's like outrageous for him, he does good. Anything that we all do normally, normally, it's a big project. He can't, he won't be able to do. But anything like that's outrageous. He literally drove home and he was like going right through. He was passing people, going through, and it wasn't a lot of traffic. It was 3 a.m. But there's still people out. So when he was going and he was going he was going the speed limit. He was going like 40 miles an hour, but 30 miles an hour back. I mean, we were flying. It felt like it anyway. And it was a little nerve-wracking in the beginning, but then I realized he had it because he was just going and he was like maneuvering the car. He was like really maneuvering it.
Someday we're going to have to get all the stories and then we need to literally make it into a movie because when he watches the stories they have the stories from kids growing up in that area in the 50s and the 60s and everything, they need to be the 80s version because they have story after story of stuff to everyone else would be insane. Some of the things, they're like cats. They have like nine lives. Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's no way they should still be here and walking around.
Yeah.
But
my father always said, if God blinked, you'd be dead.
Because they just are always in some kind of a situation.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they were angels.
Yes, we were.
Real angels.
We had the halo, and it would cover the horns.
Yeah.
But that was so anyway, we made it home fine. Those kids had to go car service, and it took them who knows how long to get home. They could have just came with us. But anyway, we went and he drove the car for a few days in reverse until we were able to get it fixed. But he like I said, he did good. I got to shout out Uncle Vinny. And by the way, we're not doing Uncle Vinny's as of right now.
Oh, yeah.
Just because between my work schedule and his, and he has a allergy to technology, so I have to be there with him. And because I can't be there with him right now, it's just going to have to be on hold for a little while. But just so you know, that thing was just off the heels of where it was like, I don't know if it was Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve. Anyway, we all drank a little bit. We were just a little buzzed, so we're having a good time. I went to one of my friend's house, and they were showing a picture of his sister, and so her eyes looked crossed, but we didn't realize she was cross-eyed. So my brother said, yeah. So my brother goes, why would you take a picture when she had a fly on her nose? But like he said it like joke, because someone has a fly in their nose, they cross their eyes to look at it. And so, but he said in front of their whole family because we were in their house.
Oh,
so
no.
So then we walk out, and now we're hysterical laughing, walking to my brother's ex, his ex's house, and that's where my grandma came and the whole family was there. We decided to spike the punch, and with a mind altering thing, and and so everyone was drinking at it. What was funny is her family they were right off the boat from Italy, and the father they were. They were, and the father was really a really nice guy. My brother's ex-mother-in-law she's crazy, but what happened was as they were drinking the punch, the father kept going, "Hey, why do I see I see some things under the table? Something's under the table."
Oh
And
my
we're all
God.
hysterical laughing because we know he's hallucinating, and but in a good way. It was in a good way, and then he said he saw candles burning, but there was no candle. The candles on the table, they weren't on. But he said he saw the flames and they were burning down, and he's trying to blow them out, and he didn't understand why he was doing that. And then we walked into the kitchen, and her mother was on top of the counter dancing.
Oh my God.
And so they had a great time, and we
Yeah.
me, my brother, and all my friends, we were so hysterical laughing because we knew, we saw the transition from laugh. They were laughing a lot, and then all of a sudden the hallucinations came, and he was looking under the table, and with the Italian accent, and her dancing on the counter, and my mother, grandma, not knowing what to do. My mother was just trying to dance, try to dance on the floor, screaming, like going, just trying to be like, she tries to be like, she wants everyone to have a good time.
Yeah.
Not realizing that they were hallucinating. She probably thought she was back in
Just so you know, your mom is
54.
probably watching.
Yes.
This.
Mom, I don't know if you remember that. That was fun. That was funny.
Again, they're angels, right?
Yeah. I don't know if my brother maybe watched. That was funny. I can't believe you did that to your in-laws. That's just crazy. But
Oh my God.
Good times, good times.
it really was hysterical. And but that was right off the heels of the car. Then we drove in reverse. But then we realized that almost probably every week there was like literally just a crazy story. But these are more kind of funny. They're kind of a lot more severe ones that
We're not
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on YouTube, but they're where it's it gets them a lot of danger involved and stuff. But and it's crazy because most people, they say they have crazy stories, and they tell me and my brother a story, and
It's actually not that bad.
what is crazy about that? I don't understand why you went through a red light. Okay. And we look at each other like maybe we were a little nutty. I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe.
You were normalizing
Maybe.
things that weren't normal.
Yeah, it was, but always
Like
like
at
funny
all.
things always happen. Even like if we went out to the Palladium, my brother would be dancing, and he's dancing with a girl, and he thinks he's 110 pounds. My brother, he thinks he can hold everybody up, and
He's not 110, but he is small.
He's small, but the Palladium is jam packed. I mean, you have to walk sideways to get through. And this girl ran that he was dancing with and jumped on him, and her feet went around his shoulders, and he couldn't hold the weight. So he goes flying back, right? And when he goes flying back, he launches her, he grabs her ass, right? And he pushes her. Woof, she goes flying into the crowd, right? And before he hits the floor, me and my friend Robert Todd, we saw that happen. And so we started like kind of running towards him.
Oh my
As
God.
he flings her up, his hands are up in the air. Now he's about to hit the floor. I grab one hand, my friend grabs the other hand. Before he hits the floor, we yank him back up because my friend Robert's the same size as me, so we were a lot bigger than my brother. And we pick him right up, and he grabs it. My other friend gives him a drink. He gets a drink. The crowd closes up. We start dancing again like nothing happened, and the girl got flung into a crowd. He launched her into a crowd. Like crazy things always happen with Uncle Vinny. I'm telling you, it's just
God.
and he launched her.
And it's not for nothing, but crazy things didn't just happen to Uncle Vinny. You're telling the Uncle Vinny stories, but you're not telling the John story. So
No.
let's just make that very, very clear. I married into a crazy family. I was just going to say, and I am nothing like that. So it's weird. It works.
Well, how was when you went to the bank and you told them you married an Italian from Bensonhurst? Tell me
Yeah,
what great reception you got.
Yeah, we lived in New York.
Yeah, we moved to New York, and we were living on Long Island, and I'm from Vegas, like born and raised here. So, but anyway, they were asking me like how I came to be there and what, and I was saying, we moved out there, but my husband's, originally from New York. They're like, oh, what part? And I was saying, oh, he's Bensonhurst in Brooklyn. And they were like, you married an Italian from Bensonhurst, Brooklyn? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, are you crazy? Like, what is wrong with you? And I was just like, no, what? He's like super sweet. He's a nice guy. They were like, I can't believe, no, I'm sorry. And then all of a sudden everybody started coming up with these stories and how these guys will show up in, nightclubs or whatever that are not that are in Long Island, and they would like torment these people and everything. And I was just like, no, my husband's nothing like that. So I come home and I'm telling him about this story, and he starts telling me about how they used to do that. They used to come from Bensonhurst, him and his friends, and they would go torment these guys that were out in Long Island. I was thinking to myself, oh my God, maybe it was my husband.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was my
Well, it wasn't
husband,
just Long Island either. So it was in Jersey. We did the same thing. So it wasn't just.
but
we
I
didn't pick
think they
on
were
Long Island.
younger, so I don't think it was actually him and his friends, because I think we were like probably about 10, 12 years older than these people. I don't
Yeah, it was
know.
probably their uncles.
Yes.
They're probably like, if you see people come with ragtag cars and they all come and they have no license plates on the cars and stuff like that, just leave the club.
Oh,
It was good.
yeah.
But we always had a good time, which is good. That's the important thing, is that you have a good
That's
time.
the important
Yeah, that's
thing.
the most important
That's the
thing. It's not
important
fact that
thing.
you tortured
If
anybody.
we
It's the
broke
fact
laws,
that,
that's
yeah.
not really, it's not important. It's just
It was
as
a
long as you had a
suggestion,
good time.
Yeah, and we used to always get home really quick. My friend did. We were driving home so fast one day. Me and my friend Jerry, we stood at this.
Yes.
All right. So he had a 1989 Ford Probe in 1988. He was the one rich kid in our crew. His father owned the front house. I don't know how he got the car. It looked like a spaceship at the time. Anyway, he had the speedometer. The needle went all the way around and was pinned down at 6 o'clock. So he's going about 140 miles an hour. And so we're driving on the Bell Parkway. And anyway, we were going so fast, we didn't see the cops. They were driving as well.
Oh.
So we blew by them so fast that what they did is they set a blockade up on Bay 8th Street, which is one exit after Bay Parkway, that's where I come from, Bay Parkway. So we get off the highway thinking we're fine. And on Cropsey Avenue, which is the first light off of the Bell Parkway, about 8 cop cars corner us. And we're like, holy shit, what happened? What is going on? Because we drank, and we were coming actually home from Rolling Roaster. And so they start getting them to get out of the car now, and so Jerry opens the door and he fell out of the car. And so he falls out. I get out of the passenger seat, and I'm, I didn't fall out. I got out normally. But my friend Robert knew that, because when I got out, they were going to breathalyze it. They said, you can't drive either. And my friend Robert, Jerry used to wear the Royal Copenhagen. That's a cologne. So my friend started squirting it in his mouth because he thought he was going to get in trouble, which is horrible to do with cologne. And he thought, but anyway, they didn't even breathalyze him. They just said, all right, you guys okay to drive? We said, yeah, we didn't, we're good. We didn't get arrested. We didn't happen. And my friend Robert got in the driver's seat, drove 2 blocks, pulled over. Jerry got back in the driver's seat and blew every red light home. And we got home really quick. And it was a funny night. But they said, if you would want one more exit, you would have got arrested, and who knows what would have happened, because we actually had a roadblock set up for you because you were going so fast by us, because they were going about 75 and we blew by them going about 140 miles an hour in that sports car. It was wild, but it was like,
see what we mean by him being
I
like
feel
a cat.
so bad for Grandma.
Me too.
You were probably
no, she wasn't there. She wasn't in the car.
No, but I'm saying, if she hearing these stories, she's probably
She never heard these stories.
Oh yeah, she didn't know.
She didn't hear. She's hearing these stories right now, and she's probably going, "Oh my God."
No, it's not true.
Yeah.
Your sons are angels.
Yeah.
They never did anything.
She knows better. She knows better.
Yeah,
but anyway,
anyway.
Good times.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you for hanging out with us, everybody. And I hope that, we're going to do this every other Sunday.
Yeah.
Every other Sunday. So we hope to see you kind of join us here for the lives. And then, we'll have Q&As and things like that. And we'll just talk about whatever was going on in the world and whatever was going on kind of on the shows. And then anything else that you guys want to talk about, we can talk about too.
Yeah. And just so you know, I was going to only give you 1 story and I gave you 3.
Oh.
So you got 2 for free. God bless.
Oh, thanks, honey.
Thanks, Dad. All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in, and then we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye-bye.